And so during that federal election, the Liberals decided to campaign, to increase regional divisions, to encourage regional divisions through their campaign. They campaigned essentially against Alberta, saying if the eastern provinces will vote us back in, we'll put Alberta in its place, and we'll make sure you get your proper subsidies for your for your energy and things like that. So this was very unique in Canadian history because generally speaking, the federal parties try to enhance national unity, like to discourage regional divisions and bring the country together. Like that's what they normally would do. But here we had, the Liberal Party of Canada deliberately exploiting regional divisions and encouraging regional divisions as a way of getting back into power, and it worked. And so, because of that very divisive campaign, when Pierre Trudeau was reelected in February of 1980, people in the West were very angry about that, especially Alberta. We knew what was coming, something bad was coming. And a few months later, in October, Pierre Trudeau brought in the National Energy Program, which just devastated Alberta's economy. It was basically a federal power grab over the energy industry more than ever before. But it really devastated Alberta's economy. Like thousands of businesses were lost, thousands of people lost their homes, thousands of people. I don't know exactly how many people lost their homes, but it was a very large number. But thousands of people did lose their jobs. And actually, just this year, in the traveling and speaking I've done, I've run into people who can tell personal stories about how devastated their family was or people they knew by the National Energy Program. In fact, I was at an event last week where the organizer told me he was a child at that time. He said he remembers his father weeping over the financial losses of their family due to the National Energy Program. And this is kind of malicious on the federal government's part. They knew that they were harming Alberta. When people lose their jobs or their businesses because of a natural disaster or something like that, you can understand that. But this was a deliberate policy of the federal government to hammer Alberta, and people were hurt. And like I say, you can talk to people today, some people who were hurt personally or their families were hurt, like their dad lost their job. This harmed a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's burned in the memory of a lot of people, and it should be.